Thank you, Rafic Saab University, for giving me this opportunity to showcase I wouldn't call it my business, actually. It's more of a passion, what I'm doing here. It came out of a necessity more than generating a business. It turned out to become a business, but I wasn't aware of it at the beginning. So welcome, everyone. Hope everyone has his coffee and you're awake. نبلش لانه هيدا رح تحمسكم كثير actually هالpresentation, especially if you're a digital illustrator like myself. This might sound very interesting to you. So Drawwit. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you the journey that I passed through it before this actually turned into before Drawwit became an actual enterprise. All right. So for those who don't know me, my name is Rafic Saab. I'm a 2009 AUB graduate, graphic designer from AUB. And the reason why I got into graphic design is because I love illustration, and basically the main reason that I got into graphic, and it was the most compatible with what I wanted to do. And ندمان على قهوة. I just can't live without coffee. And if there's coffee, then there is water for me. That's an overview. How did this all start? يعني نحن لما كنا بالجامعة, I'm like, you know what? Once I graduate, I'm gonna quit everything. I'm just gonna focus on illustration and make a huge enterprise out of this. I'm gonna make thousands and thousands of dollars, and this is going to be everything that I'm going to do. Just focus on illustration, and this is going to be the income. It's going to pave the road for me. So after a while, I just realized that I just had to laugh at the idea. So let's just take a minute about taking this idea and what I had in mind. I just laugh about it, and it wasn't the way I thought it would be. So I realized I had a problem. So I was looking at it the wrong way. Plus, when you're a fresh graduate, you're mainly equipped with your skills, not into how to turn your skills into a business. And this is the part that I lacked the most. So while I was having my coffee one day, and I was illustrating, I was literally having fun with illustration. Usually I sketch doodles, and the doodles turn out into ideas. I don't know if this happens with anyone. Because the greatest ideas that I get is because I'm having fun toying with an idea in mind. Back then, I was looking at vernacular sayings, أمثال شعبية, ده بالحبيب زبيب, عصفوران بحجر, things like that. And it clicked with me. Why don't I take this lingo and add an artwork to it? It would look cool. So from this idea, a few came out. And I was finishing this one specific in the middle at 2 a.m. And when I drew the guy's face, I was just laughing and laughing. Back then I was living with my parents, and they came in and said, "What's wrong with you?" عم تضحك ساعتين الصبح لحالك. So so these generated 12 different variations. These are just 3, but each one talks about a specific topic. Like this last one talks about back then لما ركبوا رادارات, لما كان في شيء اسمه رادارات بلبنان, صاروا ناس يكسروه on purpose. So I took out this غنية. I took just a chunk of it, a bit of it. زعجك شيله. So this is technically to make a social commentary of what's happening in Lebanon. All right. So, from this, I hang these as just posters in coffee shops like Cafe Yunus and whatnot, and people responded to it. It's like, man, these are really good, man. I like your style. Do you have them on T-shirts? Do you have them on keychains? We would like to have these on items. And I'm like, okay, so people are liking these ideas. So تشجعت, and I went to other coffee shops back then. Not just Cafe Yunus, I went to more refined coffee shops. And when the owner saw these, قال لي like, Rafi, your ideas are great, but the approach that you're taking here is a bit aggressive. People might not understand your humor. They might find it offensive, and the style as well might be a bit too aggressive for people, because not everyone has this sense of humor. You might want to tone it down a little bit, make it more casual, more accepting for anyone who sees the illustrations. So I took this into consideration, the style and the approach. And back then, Christmas was around the corner. So for that, I created these 3 illustrations. And back then, I created my very first product. In this case, Christmas cards, which I did put on several shops during Christmas on small stands. And it created a buzz. And people were responding positively to these kind of illustrations because it reflects what we do. It reflects the Lebanese way of life. Because كل يوم عنا صبحية الصبح, we are a fan of snowboarding and whatnot, Faraya or other areas. And like the spirit of Christmas يعني, بس عملتها على الطريقة اللبنانية أكثر مع الحكي اللبناني الدارج. And this is the twist that people enjoyed بكل هالموضوع. So in short terms, I would take local lingo, local Lebanese cultural lingo, الدارج, حكي الدارج إن نحن نحكي مع العالم وكذا, and I would add an illustration, and that would create a deeper emotional connection with my viewers, and it would create a nice storyline. Like if you see this one is for Mother's Day. أنا قطعت فيها myself, but this is what people related to, because they could see themselves in these illustrations. This is part of my culture, my cultural identity, who I am, and that's what made people respond the most, actually. So it's like the wits that comes from the cultural lingo, اللعب على الحكي, put with the illustration together to create a deeper storyline. So that gave birth to Drawwit. That was the idea of Drawwit. So in simple terms, what Drawwit is currently, it is a marketplace that promotes witty cultural expressions via digital illustrations printed on a wide variety of items. So to give you an example, so this, for example, you have samples about Valentine's, mood فيك, بدي فطسك, but I took it the literal way in this case, بدي فطسك literally, like stink you to death. So what الثورة كمان نزلت على الثورة, I did a few designs for that. وهلا recently in Corona بحبك أنا بعيد. So each one fits a specific theme with a Lebanese touch, and this is the crucial part within everything that I'm doing. This is the pulse of what's making people come back. So currently we're developing a website, and we're gonna launch it soon. But for now, we are active on Facebook and Instagram, and that's where we're taking our orders from clients. And the themes that we talk about when we say we are promoting culture in a positive way, some of the themes that we talk about could be trends, like for example, Saura, festivities like Mother's Day, occasions like baby showers, landmarks, famous figures, and so forth. And there are many, many more, as long as it relates back to our culture, and we use it in a smart way. The way that we use the lingo with the illustration بطريقة ذكية, hence the name Drawwit, drawing with wits. Sorry, and besides these, so now we talk about specific cultural trends. Something extra that we do for the clients is we do customized artwork. What you saw previously, هول بيكونوا ready made, they're set, they can be sold at any moment. واحد بس بيطلب الطلب وبينطبع على an item that they want. An extra feature that we offer to clients is that if they have something that they want to do themselves, something that is very specific for them, we would take their cultural message, we would adapt artwork to the cultural message, and we'll fit it in a product that they would like. So in this case, this gentleman's son, it was Mother's Day back then, and his son loves Legos as much as he loves his mother. So طلعنا بهذا الفكرة هون, and he chose it to be on a nice framed poster. Another example is a good friend of mine. His fiance عم بتطبق 25 سنة, وهو عم بيقول لي براسها she's getting old. هي عم بتقول إن I'm getting old، ما بعرف كيف. وصل I'm being closer to the 30s and يعني it was funny. It's a funny comment, and she loves you know Lebanese cuisine, you know السمك على on the grill المتبل and whatnot. And he was like, can you work something around this? So this is the illustration that we came up with, fully customized for him, and he chose it to put it on a mug, وطلب كمان ابعته the digital file. So this is what I mean by customization. We fit what the client wants according to his necessities, his messages. This can be a singular client, like a person, but we can also target larger companies. So let's say, for example, top of my head, بنك عودي بدي يعمل شيء for the end of the year, for Christmas, and he wants to create a bulk order of, I don't know, 1,000 pieces. It's the same process, but the illustration is tailored to Bank Audi. It's only for them. They have exclusivity over the illustration. Everyone with me so far? Hello?
Yes, all is good.
Okay, all right.
So I'm just muting, يعني بس مشان ما يكون في noise.
No problem, no problem. Okay. Clear so far? Clear so far?
Yep, clear so far? Yes.
Okay. Okay, awesome. طيب. And just like these illustrations, we have many more. كل واحدة بتحكي عن موضوع معين، إن كان Mother's Day، إن كان birthdays، عيد الاستقلال، Teacher's Day, you name it. We have an inventory. What I just showed you, فيك تقولي راس الهرم. So there are way too many illustrations to show, and I couldn't fit it in this one presentation. So what would be our unfair advantage? What makes us unique? What's the secret sauce behind Drawwit? So like I mentioned previously, it's taking the creatives and adding wit to it. But now something, we're not just doing a pretty picture, we're doing a pretty picture with a smart message. Like for example, also Corona. This is one of many masks that I created. بعد عن كورونا وغنيلة. So العود with مع المعتل الدرجي اللبناني, but with a twist here to create a deeper connection with people. And this is literally the main reason why people come back and they keep purchasing our products. And you don't have to take my word for it, صراحة. I'm not saying this, and technically the results speak for themselves. This is just few of the people's comments about the illustrations and what they liked about my work and how they feel about it. So you could say that my audience speaks for the product. I don't have to validate that if the product is good or not. They themselves are liking it. They themselves want more. And they also repost. This is just one of many reposts that clients have put in it. Before Corona, I had a small stand in downtown, and I had my items, my products put in front of them, and they loved it. ما في حدا إلا ما إجا تصور, they asked me about the products, if they have more variations. Like back then, for example, I just had T-shirts. صاروا يسألوني لايك عندك إياها على هودي، عندك إياها for مثلا kids sizes، عندك إياها كم طويل, things like that. Not only did they like these, they wanted even more variations of what I'm offering. And this is something that we are currently working on right now, and we're expanding upon. So just to give you just a brief overview of how I turned this more from a passion to a business. Back then, Park Innovation is a free accelerator program that they saw my illustrations, the very first illustrations عن سير الشعبية، أول شيء فرجت لكم إياها. And the owner قال لي, look, these are pretty good. Why don't you join Park Innovation and turn this into a startup, into an actual real thing that can actually not just satisfy this passion for illustration, but create a stable income, generate a business that you can be proud of. From Park Innovation, you could say the business structure took place, which I was completely clueless about. I'm not a business major, and I didn't know much about how the business tactics work. But through Park Innovation, I was able to fit things nicely, and it's a sloppy movement forward, because not everything you will figure out at the same time. Some things you will have to do and then come back to it and edit and edit and edit and edit. It's a learning curve. طالما you are working on a startup level, it's always a learning curve. في اشياء you're going to be very uncomfortable with. في اشياء that يعني بتحس you don't know how to tackle this because it's not your field. Like for example, finance, for example. أنا ما خصني بالfinance. I had to learn finance بهاي الموضوع. So luckily from this, I graduated from Park Innovation. They were very happy with the results. And they invited back then Veritech. And in this case, they had a program called Veritech Impact Rise. Same thing with the Park Innovation Pre-Accelerator program, but this one was to talk about making an impact, a social impact in society. And I'm like, okay, great. Okay, Anna, my impact is to show the positive side of culture in Lebanon, because people from abroad, foreigners, they always look at the news and they always tend to portray the negative things that are happening here. No, I wanted to show the other side of the coin. I wanted to show that, you know what, we have a beautiful culture, we have a beautiful people actually. We have hospitality is part of being Lebanese. نعزم بعضنا على الغداء، نعمل صبحيات سوا. Some of the things that you cannot even find in other countries, like الجار ما بدق على الجار هونيك برا. And so I got into Veritech Impact Rise program. Last week I did demo day. خلصنا phase 1 and I'm waiting for phase 2. And I'm pretty sure all of you are asking the same question: how do you generate money out of this? So in simple terms, once these illustrations get printed and put on mock-ups in can, for example, t-shirts, in can mugs, in can masks, إلى آخره. These are put on Instagram in this case, and people would direct message me, and they would ask me for the prices, and they would directly place an order through Instagram in this case. This is because currently we're launching the website. We will be launching the website soon, so it will be through the website eventually. So this is through direct sales. Bulk orders is when you have quantities. So let's say مثل ما قلنا بنك عودة, they want 1,000 pieces. So this is a bulk order, and this is where we offer card customization, which is very, very specified and tailored to Bank Audi in this case. It can be anything. It can be a beach resort. It can be a hotel. It can be any business that wants in massive amounts. And the last one is placing our items in shops, and soon enough, they will be placed also in duty-free. Because there's one thing that I noticed: Lebanese diaspora are more interested than local Lebanese the items that they have to offer. العالم اللي برا, they tend to want more. They tend to be more active than the Lebanese here. I guess there is a sense of nostalgia, a sense of relating to your country, a sense of belonging that they find in these illustrations that they are not finding elsewhere. And this I have been told. It's like your kind of approach, ما بلاقي منه برا, not even close to what you're doing. And this is something that actually felt good. So technically, I'm going into a niche market that is still untapped. So we've been officially active since December 1st, 2018, up until now. We have sold 419 cultural items, made 9.6 million Lebanese pounds in sales. And just to give you a heads up, this is me with minimal business or marketing background or marketing know-how. So technically, I was literally discovering my way into business here. And بوقتها كانت لحالي, literally لحالي. So I was able to, for this amount, I'm like, okay, if you can do this, if you were able to do this لحالك, imagine what can you do if there is a team, a core, وكل واحد بيهتم بشيء معين. This is going to boom. And this, I have been told, not just by clients, by mentors as well from Impact Rise program, Veritech Impact Rise program. So One way that we're able to sell internationally is through Redbubble. For those who don't know Redbubble, it's the same principle like Drawwit, in which you put your items online on mockups. People place an order and it gets delivered to their house. Except here, this gets delivered internationally. I've already had sales in Holland, in England, in Canada through Redbubble. And just like Redbubble, this type of business, for those who don't know, it's called dropshipping business, in which it's like Amazon. You upload the artwork on a specific website. These get put on specific mockups for the items for people to see. People place an order. They take care of the printing and the delivery. All you get to do is just you get paid at the end of the process. Just like Redbubble, there are many, many, many more dropshipping companies that we're going to inject. So there are several incomes, several revenue streams that will allow us to get fresh money internationally, and we will get to have a reputation globally. And our next stop, and this is the exciting part, I've already have partners who want me to set foothold in KSA. So Honike, it's not going to be just selling online, it's going to be placed in shops. And one thing that they've all told me, in Saudi, the purchasing power is way, way, way higher than in Lebanon. Obviously, because we have a crisis here. But this is something that people would enjoy. And the difference here, Hone, is that just like we have Drawwit Lebanon, we will have Drawwit KSA. شو معناتها؟ هون just like مثلا you would have Lebanese illustrators drawing for a Lebanese culture. Hone you would have Saudi illustrators drawing for Saudi culture, because I believe that the locals know their culture best, and this is where I can recruit Saudi artists to promote their culture. Nevertheless, نحن كلبنانية, we know part of the culture, we can pitch in as well here. But what I'm trying to say is that the way that Drawwit is going to expand is that in every country, be it Canada, the US, Holland, their artists can promote their culture through us. We will give them a platform for them for us to feature them and feature their artwork. And technically, they will make not just a living, but a name for themselves. And this is where you guys kick in, those who are in the medium of digital illustration, and the aspect that I'm trying to depict here. So why would I want you guys to join? Okay, so several things. Awal when I say culture, a culture is not made of a single approach. It's not a single idea. مش إنه I'm not the only one who has good ideas. I'm pretty sure, just like myself, there are many talented artists, digital artists out there who can bring different flavors to the table. And I have to be honest here. Some people may not like my ideas. They may like, for example, other person's ideas. So we give them variations to the clients. It's the illustration is not about what I like. It's about what the client likes, because this is what turns the passion into the business. You cannot think, and no, let's say, I like to draw superheroes, so I'm assuming everyone will like superheroes. No, it doesn't work this way. You have to look at the customer first, what he's into, what he likes, and you adapt his needs to the illustration. So in this case, مثلا عملت شيء للثورة, Mother's Day, what's it called, famous figures, and so forth. So why do I want more artists? It's to promote our local and cultural talent in Lebanon, because I know we have many amazing designers, amazing illustrators here who they just don't know how to move about this. They don't know how to make a name for themselves. It's difficult sometimes because this takes more of a business mentality rather than an illustrator mentality. And if you guys are like me, my skill is more on doing the artwork rather than promoting myself. I lean more on creating beautiful artwork, and I would rather have someone else to do the promotions and the marketing and whatnot for me. And marketing here is crucial. If people don't know about you online and what you do, nobody's going to discover you. So this is one thing that we're trying to compensate here for artists. Another thing is we boost their visibility, the supply and demand. So again, yani, we feature the artists, we give them a name, we credit them, we put their items on mock-ups in can t-shirts and whatnot, and this would show more visibility to people out there. وآخر شيء, which is I guess it's the most important, we have different flavors of artwork. So you have, when you show the client more variations of artwork, more approaches, more styles, يبتحمسوا أكتر. It's like, okay, so we have, let's say, for example, we're going to talk about, let's say, صخرة الراوشي, and I have 20 artists. I'm pretty sure we're going to have 20 different beautiful variations of صخرة الراوشي, which is what people would love to see. Okay, these guys are versatile, and عندهم كميات, and these guys, بيلبوا and whatnot. So, having said that, these are the benefits that how artists would benefit of joining Drawwit. أول شيء, first and foremost, you make an income every time one of you uploads an artwork, and we put them on mockups, and it sells any of the items. From every single item sold, you get a cut. هيدي أول واحدة. So that this would be a passive income. There is no hassle to do the marketing. You don't have to talk to the clients. You don't have to go to the printing press. You don't have to get the raw material. You don't have to do the delivery. All of that, we take care of it. All you have to do is just focus on what you love, which is drawing. And last and not least, which is perhaps one of the most important part, we empower the artists. We give them a voice. We give them a platform where you get featured. And don't be surprised if people would contact you for other side jobs. So let's say, for example, I myself work, no longer, I used to work as a freelance illustrator. So basically, لما يشوفوا شغلي out there, people get intrigued. So شخص بيخبر الثاني بيخبر الثالث. And next thing you know, you have a bunch of people who want to work with you. هيدا إذا نحكي outside, even outside of Drawwit. So technically, this would be a positive spillover for you guys as well. But for us, the most important part is to feature you, showcase your work, and let people know that, hey guys, we're here, man. And we are not just, it's not just a one-person job. That we are, what was it called? A legion. يعني لهالدرجة أنا براسي. In my head, we are already worldwide. In my head, we already have chains, and this is technically where I'm heading with Drawwit. And speaking of artists, this is an initiative that we took apart from promoting positive culture during Beirut blast explosion. We created an initiative that we wanted to promote Lebanese solidarity, something that we desperately need here. With so much segregation, solidarity is one thing that actually makes us come together and work together. And the idea of promoting Lebanese solidarity is that these will be printed on several items, and every time somebody makes a purchase, all of the profit gets donated to the Lebanese Red Cross or local NGOs. So far, we have above 500,000 Lebanese pounds. هيدا عم نحكي لأنه the banks are no longer allowing us to do marketing لأنه بدك تدفع بالدولار, and there's a very, very, very small margin to promote yourself. It's like maybe the صار بتشارج $15. But nevertheless, we are still making sales through these products. And these products are for a good cause. 9 artists joined so far. And these 9 artists, I'm بعرض عليهم the same idea. And look, guys, this is maybe you just donated this artwork, but I would like you to eventually be part of this and make an income and make a name for yourself through Drawwit. So كلهم متحمسين, they all love the idea, and they all want to pitch in. So to give you an example of one of the pieces that created to promote Lebanese solidarity is, for example, this one. إنه نحن شفنا إنه الدولة ما عملت شيء بصراحة when it comes to cleaning and repairs and whatnot. نحن, we, الشعب are the people who went down and cleaned the streets and helped each other and did donations. And this was placed on several items. If you go into the Instagram account, this is what you're going to see in with regard to this one specific artwork. There are several ones. This is one of them. And these are the items that we were promoting, and all of the profit was given as donations. And well, and another way, last but not least as well, another way that you, if you would like to help contribute and let us grow and expand, first and foremost, Drawwit is for the community. It's not a one-man show. If there is no community backing up Drawwitme because we are promoting, we are honoring cultural identity here. So one thing that I would kindly ask of you is if you could like, follow, and share our page. Tell your friends and family to also spread the word, talk about it. Also like, follow, and share the page, and place an order. So by placing an order, you're not just helping me, you're helping fellow artists also make an income, make a name for themselves. We are pushing forward together, and this is not something that how can I say this? مش هنفكر بس بحالي. This at the beginning in Bala, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it alone وكذا, and then I realized that you're thinking about it the wrong way, man. It's the community that's gonna back you up, and it's the community that's gonna push everything forward. And this is basically a motto, يعني إنه all for one for all. This is something that it's at the core of Drawwit. It's about for the community before for the individual. And yeah, that about wraps up the the presentation. And if you have any further questions, guys, please feel free to contact me here, or Dalia as well. She can put you in contact with me. Dalia is a very good friend of mine. Who, بصراحة, I need to thank you, Dalia, personally for giving me this opportunity. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Rafic. First off, I want to thank you for giving this talk at RHU. I know many people who are illustrators, graphic designers, حتى كمان hobbyists, ما ضروري يكون عندهم the major of art, who have a hobby of actually drawing things that interest them وكذا. They also might be interested in this this approach. And as you have said, serving the community is a really good thing. I mean, if we don't do that, we don't have awareness basically on any problem that happens in our community. So our job as artists, illustrators, designers, hobbyists, or whatever, is to always shed light on what is happening. Because if we don't do that, no one is going to talk about the problems. So if you have any questions, please just let me know so I can ask them. Do you see questions?
I was that clear.
You were this clear. That was amazing. Well, if this is a thank you guys for coming, and thank you, Rafic, again.
Thank you so much.
We'll catch up soon, and best of luck in drawing. في question أو عم هيك عم بتسايروا. They're a little shy. They're a little shy.
No. Guys, don't be shy. أنا بصراحة يعني هيدي I like to break the ice here يعني إنه أنا بصراحة الروح إنك I cannot be too serious all the time. وأنا بصراحة I have a big sense of humor يعني and this reflects in my illustrations.
Okay.
Don't be shy.
Thank you again. If anyone has any questions, come in. I will contact you as well. وبعمل كمان this bridge between you guys and Rafic if you're interested أكيد in
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon, Rafic.
All right, again.
Bye.